Yo, what is up, everybody? Your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Talk Podcast coming at you. I don't know what happened here, Cricket, but you kind of disappear a little bit on me.
You're good, brother.
Yo, it is Tuesday. It is Tuesday. Sorry that we missed it yesterday, but we're back. We took a week off. Back here with my homie Cricket. What's up, Crick?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man? I'm all right. I'm all right. Chugging along one day at a time. Everything all right with you?
Everything's all right, man. Listen, I can't complain, brother. You know what I mean? Every day above ground with health and being able to support your family and do the things that you can for them and for yourself. It's a good day, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. I understand that completely, man. Well said.
So, listen, I've been seeing you that you need a little distressor, right? So I'm glad you're here today because I want to make sure you lay off some of the NCAA stuff, right, brother? I need you to get back to the NFL. I need you to just take it easy, bro. Unwind, all right? Take a sip. Put all that shit behind you. It is over. It is time to talk some fucking professional stuff, brother.
That's fair, bro. I need that decompression right there, man. They've had me fired up with all that stuff. So we won't get into all that, man. Let's talk NFL for a little while.
Let's go, baby. Listen, hey, we're week 13 is over. Most of the fantasy leagues right now are on either you got some people in the bubble or like myself who's had one of the worst fantasy years ever. Never again doing 7 leagues. I'm going to stick to 4 like I've done in the past because I am so out of contention on like 4 out of the 7. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So
it's hard to maintain that many, man.
It is. It's hard to do that with the betting. I mean, I've actually decreased my DFS playing. I mean, it's just way too much, man. Way too much.
There's a lot going on. Otherwise, I mean, if you don't put the time in you need to for all that stuff, you're really just throwing money away, man. And there ain't no sense in doing that.
It is. You're absolutely right. How'd you do this weekend betting wise?
I did all right, man. I did all right. Wound up, what was it? I think I wound up 7-5 against the spread in NFL. So not bad, man. We were up a little bit. Player props were struggling. I was down a couple units in player props, then went 4-0 last night. So it worked out.
That's kind of what happened to me. I was, you know me, I only do parlays, right? Which again is really stupid. And I said I was going to come down with the 4-legged and shit, right? But no, I stayed in my old self. So I went Thursday night. I bombed again. 3 out of 4 in my parlays. Then again, I bombed again on Sunday. I was so busy doing stuff with that. I didn't even play Sunday night football. I didn't pay anything. But yesterday I said, you know what? I hit a 5-leg. All right, 20-1 plus 2,000. Recover myself, and he put me about 10 units up from 2 weeks ago. So that's good. I'm back in the green again after having 2 really bad weeks. So it was good, man. Let me tell you, it was crazy, right? My parlay was Trevor Lawrence over 21.5 completions. Guess what? He went out.
22, man.
Right at 22. Dude. I lost it because my app didn't refresh, and I said, fuck.
Oh, man. Look at that. Hey,
that was the last one. Bro. Got the overage on the yardage for Jamar. Got the over on the yardage for, for Mixon. Yeah, Mixon? Not Tyler Boyd. Actually, let me tell you who I got. Yards over on Mixon, right? Rushing.
Yep.
Got the over on the receivings for Jamar Chase. Anytime TD on Mixon. The completions on Trevor Lawrence. And the other one was Ingram over receiving yards.
Man.
Yeah.
That's good stuff right there, man. I can't believe you bet Ingram's over, man, the way you feel about that guy.
Well, here's the thing. I bet Ingram. I know you're right, but Ingram has been their leading receiver. I mean, and he finally got into the end zone. I almost went to the anytime. I had
him anytime.
I saw it, man. I saw it, dude. I was going to put him in there. And I was like, guy, my luck, man. He's not going to score tonight. But, it is what it is. But recover nicely. Plus 2,000, 5-leg. Can't complain about that.
Hell yeah, man. We'll take that all day long. Love those 20-1s.
Oh, here we go. My boy Jim is always in the chat, hitting it up. He said he needed to stress a hit up Deshaun Johnson. He has hookups. So, yeah, that's true. He knows all the hot spots in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true.
So let's get going with some games over here, bro. What do you think of the Dolphins, man? They're 45-15. They beat another. They annihilate. Not they don't beat bad teams. They
Yeah.
freaking annihilate the bad teams, right? They're what?
Yeah.
They have the best record in the AFC. They're 9-3. Listen, this team, if they lose to whatever they have left in the schedule, whatever two good teams, they're still going to be the number one, seed in the East, right? Pretty much.
Yeah, out of the East. I mean, they'll win that
Yeah.
division. They're going to win that division. It's still
All
up in the
right.
air as far as the AFC. I mean, you got the Ravens right there.
Yep. I'm talking about just their division. They're probably they gotta make the playoffs because they're gonna.
Oh yeah, that division. I mean, that's their division. They'd have to really go on a cold streak here.
Yes.
To lose that thing, and somebody else would have to get hot. And I don't see that happening.
I mean, that offense is so great, man. Devon Achane, what is it again? Achane.
Achane.
I still can't pronounce the fucking guy. Yeah, it's like A-Chain, right? I have A-Chain.
Mm-hmm.
Look, 73 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Mostert doing what he does. He's second to McCaffrey? I can't believe that shit. Before McCaffrey played, he was the leading touchdown scorer in the league. I think he had 16 or something like that. And then
yeah, man, the touchdown machine.
Crazy. Tyreek Hill doing it again. What is it? 5 games this season with 2 touchdowns and over 150 yards receiving. This guy's insane.
This guy's unreal, man. It is unreal watching what they're doing. I mean, that guy, he straight up called it too. He told us for the season he was going to get 2,000 yards receiving, and God forbid, barring any kind of injury or anything, I don't see any way he doesn't get there, man.
He's a machine, dude. He's a machine. And this year, we're not having a clear cut for the MVP. This man's name has to be mentioned as well. That's crazy.
You got to throw him in there. You got to throw McCaffrey in there.
Yep. So it's a clear year that we might have a position player that's not a quarterback might be winning this thing.
And I don't think you can be mad at it if we do, man, because these guys are performing at a whole nother level, bro.
Absolutely.
Breaking records and things, man. Things that have never been done before.
Absolutely, man. So, Miami is it's a fun offense to watch. Again, I don't know what, Kyle Shanahan has developed him, and we'll touch on this later, but D'Amico Ryan as well. I mean, you look at that team, that offense, they're doing similar things, man, which is fun to watch. And then, of course, we'll talk about the 49ers, baby.
Oh, yeah, man.
Woo! Talk about a statement right there, man.
That's right.
Talk about a statement. But yeah, the Dolphins, look, they're going to annihilate bad teams. The question is, what can they do against a team that's over 500 that's going to give them a tough time, which is what they've struggled with all year. They're 0-3 against,
And they've got a big-time matchup coming up on New Year's Eve, man. They'll be at Baltimore, and that may very well be the game for the number 1 seed in the AFC. We still got a little bit of time between now and then, but that very well could be for that number 1 seed.
Yeah, no, look, and Miami, it's funny. I think everybody in this world would love to see the 49ers and Miami, right? McDaniels against the mentor, the student, that kind of shit.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to happen. I mean,
I just haven't seen enough from the Dolphins when they play good physical football teams. I haven't seen enough out of them. Every time they've been put in that spot, they've been smacked in the mouth. So I think, a team like the 49ers would give them all kinds of problems. They beat up on bad teams, but when it's time to put up or shut up with the good teams, it hadn't gone well so far.
Yeah, they can't put their cojones on the table, bro. That's what happens. Their cojones really shrink when they.
You're right, man.
When they play a bigger team with bigger cojones, you know what I'm saying, dude? So
that's right.
The only reason
that mouth.
Exactly, they don't like to get punched, bro. You know what I mean? They're like that boxer who doesn't get hit because he moves so much, and finally when he gets somebody that can, that has as much speed as he does and as much agility and can actually hit you, they don't like that.
Yeah, they don't want no part of that, man.
Absolutely. The only reason I'm touching this game right here, the Steelers and the Arizona Cardinals, is number one. My boy Jim is out there on the comments, and he's probably pissed off that they lost to the Cardinals. But Pickett is out. Trubisky comes in, and how can you say that offense looks even worse? But it does. You know what I mean?
How is that even possible?
It's crazy, man. I mean, it's like, wow, here you thought you're gonna kind of like get over the hump. You fire Canada. You finally, even though you didn't look impressive the previous game, but you did have the most total yards in the season so far, or like the first time in like a year. But man, then you go back and you digress in this game, and it was, they looked bad before Pickett went out with his injury, which is pretty bad. I think, this is a huge hit for the team, regardless of how bad offensively they are, having Trubisky at the helm.
Bro, whoever drafted Mitchell Trubisky that high.
Hello, you there? Okay, so Cricket will be back. Yeah, whoever drafts it to Trubisky that high, there's definitely some issues. There you go, buddy. You're back.
Sorry, you good, man. You good. I
Good.
know to just hang out. I know I'm coming back, but
Yeah,
yeah,
go.
I don't know what they ever saw in
Yeah,
that guy.
it was Nagy, right? Was Nagy the one who drafted him
I think so.
when he was head
I
of
think
coach?
so. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think you're right there, man. But I just don't understand it, and I don't think I remember anybody. Well, Zach Wilson maybe
that's
that
true.
went that high in the draft that it just looks
Yeah,
so bad, bro.
he looks bad, but at least unlike Zach Wilson, he made the playoffs with the Bears once. So it's Trubisky did.
Oh, you
Remember?
talking about Trubisky made the playoffs?
Trubisky,
Yeah.
yep,
Okay.
yeah, unlike
Yeah.
Zach. Now,
That's fair.
the main story of the game here was James Conner revenge game, 25 carries, 105 rushing yards, and a rushing touchdown. You knew he was fired up for this.
Yeah, good for him, man. Good for
Yeah,
him. Get to go back home. Was went to Pittsburgh
that's right.
for college, then wound up, was with the Steelers for a while. That's cool. That was a cool story for him to get healthy and come back home and have a good day there.
He's a decent player. I like him, bro.
That
You know
guy's
what I mean?
decent human, man. I
He's
like
a
that
decent
guy.
Hey, remember that dude beat cancer, bro. All right, remember that? All right, and then came
he
back
won
and got
the
what?
game of life, bro.
He was was he undrafted? I think he was undrafted, right? Was he undrafted? And I think he came up. It was his free
It may
agent
have been
or
later
late round.
rounds, man. Yeah, maybe later rounds, I think, but I don't think he went undrafted. I'm pretty sure he didn't go
Something
undrafted.
like that. I know it was something ridiculous. He was like a late round, and he beat cancer the year before. Comes to the NFL, his rookie season just lights it up. I mean, I like him. He's a good story.
Yeah, it is cool, man. I was happy to see him have a good game the other day.
Yeah. I told you my boy was going to be pissed. It's piss beyond piss. My God, Mitch's trash can with Lex Deontay celebrating a TD down 14. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's right now everything's dysfunctional over and over again with that team, dude. I mean,
bro, have you seen that total they set on that Thursday
Yeah.
night game with them and the Patriots?
Yeah,
It's at
dude.
like 30 or something. I've never seen an NFL total that low.
I think I'm picking the under.
I'm absolutely taking the under. If you don't take the under, you try.
yeah.
I mean, if they get me, they get me. But I'll
You don't like
never
money, right?
ever. No, I'll never bet an over that's in that spot right there. Like, I mean, that's probably that's the lowest NFL total I ever remember seeing.
That's
man.
crazy. That's
and
crazy.
it may.
It is.
I'll be honest with you. It might fall down to the 20s. It might get to like 29.5.
That's wild. Is it me or this year you're seeing record-breaking unders on so many games? Because the previous one was what? Them and I think or was it one of the New England games? It was somebody. I mean, it was either Pittsburgh and the Browns, or was it New England with another team that was like what, 32, 34 or something like that? It was crazy.
Last week, I think New England and the Giants was 33.5. This week, the Jets and the Falcons was 33.5. Now you got this one set at 30 or 30.5, wherever you find it right now. I think it has to do a lot with the fact that the unders were covering at such a huge rate early on, and the books are trying to adjust to it.
I think so. I think so too. Yeah, this guy's not going to be. I mean, you got to watch him, my boy over here, do his lives. He goes ham. He's not. I feel like I'm not going to see him at sports and cigars and sports one day. He's going to have a freaking heart attack, screaming at his freaking team.
The only way they'll get us in this over, I'm just sitting here thinking about it, is both these defenses are pretty solid. There might be a couple defensive tutties that wind up happening in that thing. That'd be the only way they get us, or overtime, some stupid shit like that.
They have no choice. They really have no choice.
It's gonna be so bad to watch.
Good evening, back at the bench podcast. How you doing, brother? Thanks for tuning in, like always.
Evening,
so talking about over, this game went over, man, and I didn't pick it. I almost did, but bro, dude, these Colts, and of course, I like to call him the new age, Fitzpatrick, because
man, new age.
Personality wise, this fucking guy has this team at 6-5. All right, no Jonathan Taylor again. They win their 4th straight game in OT. This dude is Gardner Minshew has no fear, hasn't had any fear. All right, since he came into the league. All right, like you said, he was coaching football, so he was going to coach high school football or something. Bro, it is a good story, and I love seeing him play, dude. I mean, he's crazy, bro. This guy is just wild, man. He's free thinking. He doesn't give a shit. Let's go.
He feels like he's got a new lease on life, man. He wasn't even supposed to be playing in the league, man. And now here he is. He's like, hell, what have I got to lose, man? Y'all done paid me. I'm going to go out here and get the job done. And he always seems to, every now and then you'll see him just have a terrible game, get his head beat in.
Of course.
But more times than not, this guy gives you a chance to win the football game.
Brother,
and never gets rattled. Just kind of keeps on keeping on.
Remember, you need these quarterbacks for 10, 15 years, right? Because there's always going to be teams that need that gap quarterback, right? Before they could draft the quarterback.
Happen, man.
Exactly. They're always going to end up picking a guy for a year, like a Geno Smith, that kind of guy. You always get.
Yeah.
He's going to start for another team. He's already started for the Jaguars. He's starting for this team right now.
Yeah.
He came off last year, backed up Jalen Hurts and won a couple of
I
games
started
or
to say,
one.
yeah, he started for the
Yeah,
Eagles last year. I was watching that Kelsey documentary earlier, and I kind
yeah.
of forgotten about that.
Dude, so this guy, and I'm telling you, he's going to be a guy like they're getting rid of the quarterback because he sucks, right? And they're going to trade him, and then they're going to use him for a year, start for a year, draft another, He's going to be that guy, like the stopgap guy, the great backup that when your team, your starting gets hurt, he could take it to a Super Bowl like a Nick Foles kind of shit. I mean, 312 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. He's done 300 passing yards like 3 or 4 times this year already. This guy is, crazy, dude.
I've got him on. I got some struggles at quarterback in my dynasty league, and I've got him on my bench, man. I feel like every time I bench that guy, he does that, throws for 350 or something. And I'll play him, and he'll throw for 90.
That's true. Well, I started on last week because in my Superflex league, Geno Smith is my second quarterback. He's been sucking it, right? Decided to sit Geno down. I left DK, and Geno, of course, had his best game of the freaking year. I still annihilated my opponent, but still, man, it was one of those things that you're like, crap, man. And I'm not starting Geno again this week against the 49ers. This guy's my second QB.
Thing is, like, I think everybody drinks that Kool-Aid, man. They see that, and they're like, all right, and they run him back against some stout-ass defense next week, and he gets crushed.
Yeah, that's going to happen. That's why. So I'm going to keep Minshew because Dak is my number 1 QB. So I'm going to leave Minshew there, dude. I don't care. I'm not going to fall for that Geno shit, man. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Yeah, Mullet Mania Minshew. There we go, Jim. You hit it right on the nail.
That's right.
And this dude is so free will, right? I got to share this with you, dude. So I saw this is him in the locker room, right? And that's another thing. He's also a good locker room quarterback, whether he's a backup or the starter, right? People like him. People gravitate to him. So, and that's kind of what you look as a teammate. You want a good teammate, bro, whether, that he's going to take that leadership role when it's his time. He'll take the back seat when he needs to. Let me share this real quick, man. Hold on a second. I got to share this with you. It actually is after I went and sent it to myself. Screen. I was like, man, I should have this up set over here. Let's go to.
You're good, brother.
Let's get over here. All right. You see my screen real quick? No, hold on. Let me get back to. Let me bring this down. Boom. There you go. Hold on. Let's maximize. Yeah, this dude's funny as hell, bro. All righty. He's out there, man. Fucking chopping it up.
Living his best life, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that guy.
Yeah, bro. And you see the team, bro. The team fucking loves him.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, he's like you said, he's living his best life, bro. This dude is living his best life, man. You know what I'm saying? He's doing this thing. It's like so he's
nothing
living
wrong
life
with that, man. There ain't nothing wrong with that, man. That man's earned it. He's earned it. That was a good comeback by the end of the other day, man. I had the Titans. I had a money line and taking the point and a half there. And I thought it was all over, but how do you get 2 blocked punts in the same game? And I saw the craziest sequence of events I've ever seen in a football game. You get a blocked punt for a touchdown. Then you got the team going for the ensuing 2-point conversion, and they throw a pick 2 right behind it. Block punt for a touchdown, then a pick 2 in back-to-back plays. That was the craziest sequence of events I've ever seen in a football game, man.
It was, man. I mean, it was a good game, man. I mean, yeah, look, Tennessee's out of it. It's you saw some good things again from Derrick Henry's last hurrah. He went out with I guess you want to call it a concussion because apparently he's not a concussion protocol. So,
bro, did you see that hit?
It was a big hit.
Bro, I looked at my girlfriend and I said, I have never seen anybody hit Derrick Henry like that.
No.
That guy is a grown Franklin for the Colts. Yeah. That is a grown ass man. Because I've never seen a human being hit Derrick Henry like that.
And the fact that he's not in concussion protocol, that says a lot, dude. I mean, it's like
dude, he hit Derrick Henry, and even Derrick Henry, you can just like look on his face. I look for stuff like that. I want to see what they look like after. Yeah. And you just look, Derrick Henry was like, motherfucker, man.
Bro, Derrick Henry hits people like that.
That's what I'm saying. He ain't never been hit like that. He didn't know what to expect.
Not the other way around, dude. You know what I mean?
I bet he ain't been hit many times like that in his life. And we're talking about a man that's played a lot of football.
I mean, what's crazy about it is that he's you could tell he's lost a step, even though he's actually still gathering a pretty good season overall. Had another couple touchdowns. He's gonna end up I think he's close to 10 touchdowns overall. But he still may even get over 1,000. Man, he might be short of 1,000 yards. But however, he's still having a good season at the age of when it comes to running backs, where you already are being taken out to the pasture, right? So
especially the way that he's been used, man.
Yes. Absolutely.
Like we're talking a guy the first 5 seasons of his career was getting 25, 30 carries a game. I mean,
Yep.
these are hard yards this guy's
Yep.
getting. Just because he's hitting people like that, you
Yep.
got to understand that's still taking a toll on your body right there.
Yep.
And
Yep.
for
Absolutely.
whatever reason, when they're on the road, they don't
Mhm.
give him the ball like they do when they're
No.
playing in Nashville. I don't know
No.
what it is or why they do it, but their whole game plan offensively changes when they go on the road, and it hurts them. That's why they
It does.
lose when they're playing outside of
Yep.
Nashville, man.
Yep. Yep. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think this maybe I don't know what his contract year is, but we might see the last season of Derrick Henry in Tennessee uniform. So
I think
uh,
in the Tennessee uniform, yeah, I think he's got a
yeah,
couple
he's
more
still
good years left, but I think he's gonna have to go to an offense that's
yeah.
got a good complement back. I mean, not that
Yep.
Tajay Spears is not a good compliment. I think that guy's gonna be good too,
RJ
but I think
RJ's gonna
he's
be
the
good.
future of the
That team.
franchise there at running
Mhm.
back. And I think he's gonna need to go somewhere with another aging type running back that's still
Mhm.
they can still play and kind of use them as a 1-2 punch, a little thunder and lightning action or something. But I think the days of Derrick Henry getting 25, 30 carries a game are just behind us, man. I don't think his body can hold up to that.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Look, one great thing about Derrick Henry that in his latter his career, he's probably got 2 more years, right? He'll be
2 or
more
3,
usable than Zeke Elliott, right? If he goes to a team like not no pun intended, the Cowboys with Zeke Pollard there, right? Big
yeah.
back, get those hard yardage, great in the red zone. I mean, he goes to a team that's you got to get a team that has a quarterback, that has the wide receiver that's contending. And he wants that chip because that dude is a baller. He's
There you
probably
go.
going to end up taking a lot less money to go for a team. He's going to pick a team. He's not going to try to go to anybody just for the hell to play.
I feel like I say this about every player, but can you imagine putting him in Kansas City's offense?
Yeah. 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 Shit. With oh yeah, man, with Pacheco in the building. Awesome, dude.
That's what
Oh
I'm
man.
saying, man.
Brother
Hey,
BK Contreras, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. This is nice of him. Look at this, man. Shout out to the chat, including E-Man and Cricket, AJ Sports Talk. Keep it sound. Good work. Appreciate you, man. Hey, shout out from
yeah.
the South Bronx, baby. What's up, kid? Yo, East New York in the house, baby. We got South Florida, but your boy grew up in East New York, man. We got the Bronx in the building, baby. The boogie down. Let's go.
That's right, man. Shout out to you, brother. We appreciate that.
Thanks for tuning in, brother. Oh man, but yeah, dude. Here we go. Jim it says Derrick Henry, if he had to guess, winds up in New England. I hope not. Not for his fucking sake.
I mean, yeah, that could. Well, I don't know. That might not be a bad deal, depending on what happens for the rest of the season. I think
Yeah.
Belichick's got to be out the door. They're going to wind up with a top pick. You wind up. I think they should. I mean, they better hope they wind up at 2 and they don't take Caleb Williams and they get Drake May there.
Yep.
And then you put him. I mean, I don't know that Derrick Henry wants to go into something like that though.
I
Where you're in
know,
a
man.
rebuild. He don't want to be a rebuild.
So.
His body ain't up for that no more.
I don't think so. And you know what? We're gonna touch on New England in a little while. Okay, so we got everything. We have everything covered today, man. All the top storylines like we always do. And the only reason I'm touching this sorry ass game, another under, right? Another shit show under. It's because the damn Falcons are in first place.
They are, man. Our division's so bad. I'm not a Falcons fan. I'm a Buccaneers fan. But
I know you are.
So bad. I just say for the people out there, so I didn't want to ever sound like I was any kind of Falcons fan because I hate the fucking Falcons. But this was the grossest game. Man, I'm in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I don't know if I've told you those before. I always have to watch. Like, I don't have NFL Sunday ticket this year, so I got the Titans and I got the Falcons always on TV. And the Titans game was good the other day. It was actually one worth watching. The Falcons games are always fucking terrible, man.
No, you got games in the Titans that, dude, they're entertaining, right? They're not nowhere near as good, offensively. But look, with what's his name, Mayonnaise boy, what's his name, Will Levis.
Will Levis, yeah.
Will Levis. I think it's just insane how that kid likes to throw from the sidearm like 40 yards away. I mean,
he
just
slings it, bro. He's got a rocket.
He does have a zip. He does.
Absolutely.
He does. So, it's absolutely
the best game I saw out of those two teams was when they played each other, probably.
Yep, that's true.
That's probably the best one of the year.
Well, yeah, just, they're in sole first place. I mean, your team, the Bucks, which we're going to hit a little later, are still in contention because they did one this week. It's one of those things that you have to play everything to the end, and schedule is going to come big in here. And I'm hoping that because Baker Mayfield is, that division, he is the best quarterback, right? Can we say that?
I mean, yeah. Well, right now, it probably. I mean, I think he has to be considered that. I mean, Bryce Young probably is going to eventually be better than Baker in the long run. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. For now.
Yeah, he got to be the best right now, man. Got to be.
Yeah, it's so bad that they let Frank Reich go. Is that he didn't finish his freaking full season? Which, I think we knew it was going to happen.
Yeah,
we knew it was going to happen.
It's not even saying much to be the best quarterback in that division right now.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. I'll definitely hit you up, man. We'll follow you back, brothers. BK Contreras, appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So no, look, another game that was that they needed to. It was really good. I mean, they had it under control, and then the Saints kind of came back. It was a really good, entertaining game right here. As Detroit was really, really comfortably ahead, and then the Saints made it a game. Um, and they're 9-3 right now. They bounced back from that horrible loss in Thanksgiving. Traditionally, they keep losing in Thanksgiving, and they're 9-3, leading the division again, dude. Probably what they're fighting right there with the Ravens and the Dolphins, right, for the top
Yeah,
top
yeah.
seed, right, of the AFC. So, they're for real, man. I think everybody has to be sold on the Lions, even regardless of them having a bad game against the Green Bay Packers. It just happened to be in Thanksgiving. That's what they lost. So,
Yeah,
um,
they play terrible on Thanksgiving every year anyway.
yep,
They've lost, what, 6 in a row now, 7 in a row now
yep.
on
That
Thanksgiving, so
absolutely. I don't know. I think it's even more than that. I forget the last time they fuck. I think Barry Sanders was the last. They even lost from Barry Sanders a lot. I don't even know.
I was gonna
But
say, I haven't seen them win many
yeah,
times in my lifetime on Thanksgiving, I feel
yep.
like.
Sam
And I'm getting
Laporta,
old.
baby.
I'm getting older, man. So
Yeah.
that's pretty good long while now. But yeah, the Lions, they're a scrappy bunch, man. They're a perfect reflection of their head coach, Dan Campbell. That guy, you gotta love that guy, man. He gets excited, gets those guys
Yep.
fired up, and there are a bunch of good football players out there, man. And that offense does, when it's clicking, man, they look good. Jared Goff's got to keep them turning the football over, but
Yep.
they had
Yep.
this thing completely in hand right here. But the NFL's so crazy, dude. You have to
Yep.
watch these things to the end a lot of times. Just because the team gets up by 14, 17 points, that shit ain't over, man.
Hmm.
It's just usually never over. Especially, you need to look at those spots in game betting. When you see
Hmm.
a team like this where a line was close under a touchdown like that, and you see a team jump up, go ahead and take that other team. You get a big middle right there, especially if you bet the Lions, you wind up getting the Saints like plus 10.5 or something right there. You got to start looking for those spots in games to jump on that, because a lot of these NFL games, they don't miss the lines by that much.
Listen, I love the fact that they did a great job with Sam Laporta.
Yeah.
I think is the best draft pick, knowing Dan Campbell. No, he knows his tight ends. He was
Oh,
tight end himself.
absolutely, bro.
So,
That's his guy.
absolutely, man. And he had another monster game. I know he was banged up a little bit earlier, a couple of games ago, before because he was not having. He
Yeah,
had a couple
but
of bad issues, but now he's back. 140, a touchdown. Had a nice game the previous game, and I think he even scored a touchdown. So he's going to be huge in the stretch, down the stretch. Because look, Amon St. Brown, people are going to look. He only had 6 targets, two receptions, did find the end zone, but it was a game that even though they were so comfortably ahead, I think they let their foot off the gas and allowed the Saints to get back into it. You know what I mean?
I
So,
do.
yeah, no, and of course, Jameis Winston went in there, man, and because Derek Carr went out and did what he does best, throw a near pick for a touchdown. This is
That,
what Jameis does, bro. So typical Jameis
bro,
Winston
man,
magic or luck or whatever the hell it is.
you are not wrong, sir. That is in Jameis's DNA there.
That's true. That is all about Jameis's DNA for sure. No doubt about it, man. No doubt about it. But the Lions, like you said, is their division to lose, and they are in serious contention for that top seed in the AFC. You know what I mean? There are one or three
Absolutely, bro.
teams, and is there a team that probably had a decent shot? It would be them. It would be
I,
absolutely them.
I agree. I agree. I think they got to be in the conversation, man. They're playing good football right now.
Yep, yep. You know what conversation? The next two names I'm going to drop need to be right now, and there should be no argument anymore. There should be no more pussyfooting around. All right. And of course, again, week after week, I'm saying CJ Stroud. I think his name is in the conversation for MVP as a
I think
rookie.
it is now.
And D'Amico Ryan's fucking coach of the year. Come at me if you think I'm over exaggerating, because I am not.
I agree, sir. I agree. I think they both got to be in those conversations right there. I don't know how you can leave them out.
Dude, I mean, look, 7-5. He's done a great job. Drafted a really good team, all right, with all the assets they had. He's coaching really, really well. This defense, which is he's a defensive coordinator that coming from that great school of the 49ers, the Kyle Shanahan school, and his defense is coming along. That's what has impressed me the most. We know what CJ Stroud can do, right? We know that he could sling it, right? The offense,
But
all
yeah,
the different plays, but that defense is coming up, man, week after week, and is huge down the stretch.
you're not wrong, sir. You're not. They do look good, and they got a chance to win that division now, man.
Mhm.
They're only a game back of those Jaguars after the Jags lost last night to
Yeah.
Cincinnati. And the bigger issue for the Jags, I'm sure we'll get to in a little bit, but the
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence stuff, man. We don't know if they're going to have their starting quarterback. And if the starting quarterback for the Jags is C.J. Beathard, I like the
Yeah.
Texans shot to come on back and win that thing, man.
CJ did not look great coming in last night. All right, to
No,
try to
sir.
get him.
And that's hard to do, man. I
It
mean,
is.
that's a tall task to do that. No time to prepare. Had no reason to believe he's going to play a meaningful snap. it's been a long time since the preseason when he was playing any kind of meaningful snaps. It's hard to come in off the pine like that, being cold as ice. So, I mean, I can give him. Well, we don't expect much out of it anyway. The guy's got a tall task in front of him. There's a reason he's a backup in the league. So, but with a week to prepare, that winds up being a little bit better. You just hope it's not long term for Trevor Lawrence. But yeah, you're right. Last night, if it's any signal of what's going forward, it didn't look good, man.
And it's sad. And for the Denver Broncos side of it, it was a 5-game winning streak. Nice story, but I you thought Russell Wilson can eventually kind of lead that. He just really, really had an off game, man. And again, he threw some passes that he had, what's his name open? The wide receiver, Curtis Sutton open a couple of times, apart from that one touchdown. It was an interception. He threw 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter. He just had a really bad game.
End of the game, man.
Run at the end of the game.
And goal to go with about 8 seconds left and throws one in the end zone. So
exactly. And guess what? You just can't win like that. I mean, Denver is still, much improved. But then you saw, kind of like, what level of playing Russell is now in his stage of his career, man. He's not that Russ that you could trust that he was in, in those prime years when he won the Super Bowl as a rookie, and then he had some good MVP type seasons after that.
It used to be automatic, man. When he got the ball in that spot right there at the end of the game, it used to be automatic. He was going to drive them down and and win the game. You used to expect that, and I think you're right. I don't think you can expect that or trust that anymore.
No, absolutely. So, moving on, man. I mean, it is what it is. I think the story is C.J. Stroud. It is him, just like BLK said over there. And this dude is just completely legit, man. That team is legit. It's a shame they lost Tank Dell for the season. That's going to be huge.
Yeah, man, that does hurt. That guy right there. I mean, they got a lot of other weapons around him to be able to pick up some of the slack. But anytime you lose a player that's playing at that level and it's his caliber of player, obviously, that takes some away from your offense right there.
Yep, it is huge. Now, don't get me wrong. From a fantasy standpoint, he's out for the season. I think you want to look at Robert Woods, who's going to be a lot more involved.
I agree with you. I've always liked Robert Woods. You got to be careful with him, man. He's a risky pickup. But if you got some issues at wide receiver right now, especially playoff time, Robert Woods is not going to be he could be a sneaky play because he's going to get a lot more volume in that offense, at least a lot more targets with Tank Dell being out now. Yeah,
get something in the red zone. I mean, he's still that, veteran wide receiver that can, that CJ can trust. Yep, exactly. In those type of situations, man.
Yep.
Let's talk a little bit about your Buccaneers here, man. It was an ugly win. I know Baker is banged up, but hey, they did what they needed to do. They beat a really bad team. It was ugly.
Yeah, I knew this one was going to be funny, man.
Yeah, so it was. Yeah, you called it from the beginning. I think you took the Carolina Panthers, right? The spread.
I wound up taking the under, and they got me on that. I had under 36.5. That last desperation touchdown drive for the Panthers, getting it there, got it over for them. But it just felt funny. The line had opened at 5.5 and sat there about all week, and then Saturday evening it started dropping down. And by Sunday morning it was all the way down to 3, and I was like, somebody knows something right here. They wound up hitting it right on the head. But we're just not a good football team either, man. We're not. We got a lot of problems there. These guys it's a gritty performance from a lot of these guys, these vets and stuff. I'm pleased with it, man. Proud of them. Whatever. I know they don't need that shit from me, but it is. They're gritting it out there, but we're just not a great football team. That's all there is to it.
The thing is that you're still in it because you have the GOAT of the week in that squad.
Greatest of all time. Greatest of all time. Don't cross that line. Go.
Let me tell you something, my friend. Our dude, Mike Evans, is the GOAT of the week, and I'm going to tell you why. How the hell can you keep extending your own damn record? This guy had the record for the most consecutive 1,000 receiving seasons, right? 9. Has a 10. Had a monster effing game, 174 yards, but a touchdown or 2. This dude is the consistency that not even Jerry Rice was able to. I mean, I'm not saying that he's Jerry Rice or better than Jerry Rice, but Jerry Rice never did this. No other wide receiver.
Nobody ever done this, man.
Nobody's ever done this. All right. This dude, when he end up his career, all right, he has to end up as probably top 5 wide receiver because of the consistency over and over again. And he only played with one really good quarterback, and he was already aging in Tom Brady.
I started to say, and the thing is that outside of 2 of those seasons, all them other 1,000-yard seasons were with mediocre at best quarterback talent in those spots.
Absolutely.
Man. Money Mike has been doing it for a long time. He's auditioned. I think it's his last year. We're going to have him in Tampa Bay. I think Money Mike's going to move on. and good luck to him. We appreciate all his service because that man has been doing nothing but balling out since he showed up in the Bay. And I love Mike Evans, man. I do. I'm pulling for that guy anywhere he goes.
If you are a young player, right, wide receiver in the league, right, that wants to look what a professional on and off the field, also, you know what I'm saying, the way he takes the game, the way he prepares for the game, the way he plays the game, this is the guy you want to emulate your game to. You know what I mean?
Goes to the Texans, man.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
It's in the Texans, man.
Dude, I don't know, man. This guy's let me tell you something. He's gonna be very coveted.
Mike's got some years left, man.
I think so.
Is the barring anything crazy, it looks like Mike can still play.
Oh man, this is crazy, bro. The consistency and the durability to do this in today's game is tough.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. I like I said, I love this guy, and kudos to him. That's a hats off because that ain't an easy feat. Like I said, the only man that walks the earth that's ever done that. So
he is truly a freaking goat, dude. I'm not gonna lie, he is truly a goat. I'm telling you, right? Man.
Get his gold jacket ready.
Absolutely, he's a Hall of Famer. All right, he's a Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. Just based on that, but I mean, he is wild, bro. He's so great, man. And let me tell you something. You know who was wild and actually made a freaking statement this week, bro? All right, let's not get it twisted, man. Everybody was counting this team a little bit after they hit the little slide or whatever the case may be. Not everybody, but there were some people that had their doubts.
I was gonna say, not everybody.
Not everybody. You're right. Not everybody. But brother, bang bang, Niner gang. Talk about making a statement against a game they've been freaking waiting for for almost a year. And what I love about this matchup is that they were so fired up from the beginning of the game. Debo said it right after they lost to the Eagles last year when Brock Purdy went out. Said if Brock would have never gone out to an injury, the outcome would have been completely different. And I think Philly did not like that. Right? They felt disrespected.
Yeah.
And you saw the scuffle before the game started. That's how fired up.
Yeah, bro. They fought for 4 quarters in that damn thing.
Yeah.
Everybody was fighting, man.
It's crazy, dude. And I think they were so fired up that their offense looked like shit in that first quarter because I think they were just so fired up and that it just took over their emotions and their head until they.
Yeah. Everybody just trying to hit people, not even worried about the ball.
Dude, the last 3 quarters was what, 6 straight touchdowns? I mean, 1, 2, 6 straight touchdowns. They beat the Eagles
bro.
Yeah. They beat the Eagles by 23 points. I was going to throw Brock Purdy because he's a very honorable mention to as a goat of the week, but Mike Evans definitely got him a little bit over because he's record breaking. I got to go over record breakers when it comes to goats. You know what I'm saying? But Brock Purdy, bro, 314, 4 touchdowns. McCaffrey, again, we mentioned him earlier. He should be right there with Tyreek Hill. Mentioned 110% as a candidate for MVP, 93 yards, a touchdown. I mean, this offense just looks great. Debo came and made a statement. He was the guy leading the trash talking. All right, after last year, he's been talking. Bro. He's been very vocal about this. Beginning of the year, off season, and the man did not disappoint. 116 yards. You couldn't tackle Debo. I mean, this is what he does, man. You know what I mean? Yards after catch and try to tackle is going to be impossible when he gets going.
Yeah, man. He showed up. He put his money where his mouth was with all that trash talk. And they did. They came out and smacked these boys in the mouth. We do. You know, I said it several times last week on shows. I know we didn't get to do this one, but I was on the 49ers right there. You knew they were going to be hype after what happened in the NFC Championship last year. We'd watched the Eagles escape in several games leading up to this. You know, a lot of games they very easily could have lost. That record looks a lot better than it could be right there. And usually when you do that against good teams, it's got a tendency of catching up with you. And it was about time that happened. I think the Eagles are going to drop another one to the Cowboys this week.
I mean, you called it at Wake and Rake, right? I thought it was going to be closer because, you know, the way the Eagles have been playing, they're figuring a way to win. They beat good teams, even ugly ways. But I didn't think it was going to be a large win. You said it was going to be convincing on Wake and Rake. You said, I'm on the Niners. I was on the Niners too, but I thought it was going to be a much closer game. I didn't think it was going to be a shellacking. It was a fucking
It just felt like one of those games where, you know, there's no reason a team that's sitting at 10-1 right there should be a dog at home in their own state, especially a stadium like Philadelphia that is so hostile and things like that. You know, they have one of the biggest home field advantages in the NFL, and there's no reason a team that's 10-1 right there should be a dog at home in that spot. It just felt like the books were begging you to take the points from the Eagles, and they almost knew the Niners. It just felt to me like the Niners were going to do what they did.
That's true. That's true. I mean, again, I think after the first quarter,
it was at this moment that he knew. he fucked up.
Yep, absolutely, bro.
That's the way they felt after the first quarter, and they just kept rolling touchdown after touchdown after effing touchdown.
And there wasn't nothing that Eagles D could do about it, man. They
No,
were trying
bro.
like hell. They just wasn't nothing they could do about it.
And then the 49ers D. See, if there's a defense that can contain Jalen, is that 49ers defense. Because if you go back to the NFC Championship game before Brock got hurt, that first quarter, the Eagles weren't doing shit either. You know what I mean? So they were containing Jalen. And let me tell you something right now, man. I mean, Jalen's been playing banged up. It's not good for the stretch run. I mean, they either got to give him a game off or something to recover or try to blow something. But dude, this is not good. He's y'all, that leg, it's getting to him. I mean, eventually it's something's got to give.
Yeah, man. He's that's the thing when a guy plays in an offense like this and the style of play he has, he's taking a lot of hits, man.
Absolutely. Let me see here to the comments. That here from my boy, brother BLK. That game is freaking nasty. That's why Philadelphia fans need to shut their mouth. Yeah, that's right. Who's the Niners? Until hurt is hurt. Niners defense will show who they are in the NFC. I mean, that's why I think they went after Chase Young. Right? They said that they prepared themselves to face. Remember, I think we covered this when we we're talking about the trades, right? They knew they were going to face the Eagles this time of year. They did this for Seattle, right? They did this for Dallas because they're going to face them in the playoffs. It's definitely what they're going to do. All right. It's definitely so. And I think this is what, listen, the 49ers, again, pick your freaking poison when they're healthy. It's going to be tough.
You're right.
It's going to be tough to beat. So that's where we're at with them, man. So, yep. 49ers, man. I almost put my boy Purdy back in the mix there as goat of the week, but I couldn't do that to one of the best of all time to do it in Mike Evans. And I'm not looking at one of the best of all times, but bro, how in the hell is Joe Flacco coming straight off the bus from his 55 and over retirement community? All right. Fucking playing, Parcheesi or bingo, right? At the bingo hall, stepping into the game and slinging for 2 touchdowns. That's the only reason why I'm bringing this game up, right? You know what I mean? Because, it's fucking, what the hell, man? What were the Jets thinking not calling this guy up, right? Right? During all this turmoil.
Yeah, no kidding, man. This guy, like I said, there's a lot of quarterbacks out there playing right now as starters that don't look as good as Joe Flacco did.
I mean, come on, man.
Believe it, man.
Joe. Look at Joe, 33 for 44, 254, a touchdown, 2 touchdowns. I mean, this guy was out there, man, just turning back the clock, bro.
I didn't know that man could even throw it 30 or 43, 44 times, whatever you said. I didn't know he could throw
44
it
times. 44 times, man.
That's crazy, man.
I mean, freaking crazy, man. I mean, this dude is legit. I mean, not legit, but I mean, for what you need him for. And that Jets offense, he's better than all 3 guys combined. Boyle, freaking Wilson, Simeon, and who else they just picked up because they just dropped Boyle out of the game. So,
and he he played for the Jets last year, starting early in the season. Yeah, led him through 3 weeks. I think got him a win there. I mean, didn't play terribly. And he got hurt, and the rest was history. But come on, you can't tell me that guy gives you any worse shot than what you got up there.
Fucking guy, man. I can't believe at 38 years old, that asshole is still going out there and freaking, throwing for 2 touchdowns, dude. I mean, shit.
Just killing it, man. I love it.
It's unreal. Now, on the other side of the coin here, man, look, the Rams are in back to 500. I mean, they have an outside shot of still making the playoffs. Look, Matthew Stafford has 7 touchdowns? I think he has about he has 7 touchdowns and 2 picks in the last 3 games, if I'm not mistaken. And
been lining it up, man. They've been playing well, really well. They put up a lot of points the last few weeks.
Yep. Listen, Kyron Williams is a big difference in that lineup, man. When they can run the football, everybody else gets fed.
You're
in
right.
The passing game.
You're right.
Puka, Kupp, and DeMarcus Robinson all could have touchdown. They're all going to take turns with the yardage, but this is a dangerous team if healthy. I've said it from the beginning of the year.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. They do look much better than they did a mere month ago.
Yep, absolutely, man. So it's a shout out to Stafford, man. I mean, Stafford can still play. If healthy, he absolutely can still play. Yeah, he's actually, he had 3 touchdowns, no interception, 279. Yeah, 7 touchdowns in the last 2 games. That's a pretty good freaking ratio, man.
Solid stat line, sir. Solid stat line indeed.
Oh man, now talking about solid stat line, man. Sunday night here, man, and again, it proves the point of the AFC where there's no dominant team this year. You got a lot of people that are going to fight for that number 1, probably towards the end of the season. And yeah, we've seen exposure of him, and I think a lot of people knew this of the Kansas City Chiefs, man. I mean, you got Green Bay making a run for the playoffs. You look at their schedule; they could eventually sneak in. But Kansas City 8-4 hasn't looked great in the last few games, man. They just struggle to score the football, especially in the second half.
They do, man. I was on the Green Bay Packers in this game. I felt like they had played much better and looked much better. It felt like a tough spot. It was Patrick Mahomes' first trip to Lambeau ever. It just felt like one of those weird spots where the Chiefs weren't going to show up. And they haven't played great football outside of that, last 2.5 quarters against the Raiders. They really turned it on when they were already down 14-0. Yep. But if you look at the last 12, 16 quarters, this team's not been playing great football, man. They're really not. And I think they got a lot more issues. You see some guys like Kelsey that's banged up too. Yep. You don't have a proven number one wide receiver outside of him. Everybody's scrambling trying to find that guy. But Chico looked good in this game. He was running hard, but then winds up getting ejected for throwing a punch. And so, stuff like that right there tells me there's different kinds of problems going on, man. And they just don't look as polished as they have in years past.
And what's crazy is that the Chiefs are last in second half points, scoring second half points.
Yeah, they went 3 straight games without scoring a point.
Yep. That's right. It's a wild stat based on, having a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes. But that whole offense is because of Patrick Mahomes, right? Because, again, it's a bunch of dishwashers and cab drivers. Boom. And wide receiver. And it's a shame for it's a shame for Watson, bro. Christian Watson from the Packers. He's finally coming along after having an injury-riddled season and then gets hurt again. It kind of sucks. And it sucks for the Packers as well. But it's sad to see a guy that has that much talent.
Yeah, man, it is rough on him. I felt bad for that dude because he was playing really well. Then I had a good game. He's been looking good since he got back healthy from that hammy. And, you know what that is. Anytime you see him pull up lane with that hammy like that, he's going to be out probably another at least 3 to 4 weeks right there. I mean, this could wind up being the rest of the season depending on what they do. And I don't think they have very much shot without him in the lineup,
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. And one more key stat here about the Green Bay Packers, and I want to go to the comments also because we got some good questions about who do we like this week. The Packers love playing in December, my friend, because they're 16-0 since 2019.
Is that right?
I did not know that. And that popped up. I get random stat and historical shit from StatMuse, who I follow. And it's wild. 16-0 since 2019 in December. I don't think Chris and Eric knew about that shit. And they're diehard Packer fans.
That's crazy, man. I didn't realize that, you don't think about stuff like that, but that's crazy.
Yeah, man. So, hey, that could be something that it's to look when it comes to betting as well, right? Maybe, I don't know, man.
We need to write that down. I need to make a timestamp on that for next December, man.
Let me go to the comments here. We got Ravery Sport. Do we like Dallas this week?
Against the Eagles? Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do. I think they're going to come and show out, man. I mean, you got two of the top people in the MVP conversation have been Jalen Hurts and now Dak Prescott of late, as well as he's been playing. And, I mean, right now in the last month, you can't tell me anybody's playing better than Dak. And I think Dak wants to go out and showcase in front of a game. It's going to be, I think, what is this, Sunday Night Football?
I think it's a primetime game.
But, he wants to go and show out and showcase in that spot. And I think the Cowboys are going to come out ready to play. And the Eagles got a lot of guys banged up right there. And I think they're going to hit a little skid here for the playoffs. I think they'll right the ship and still wind up making a run in the playoff. But I think they're going to lose a couple more along the way, man.
As a Giants fan, if we look back there, Giant Street, I can stand both fucking teams. But we're so out of it that, I don't have a right to comment on this. But Dak has put himself in the MVP conversation as well, right? Based on the last, 6-7 games. He has the right to be on there. But I think this time around, after playing him really, really well, 2-3 weeks ago, and almost pulling that game out, I think it's one of those things that if we played them once, we know what they have. I think we're going to adjust and probably pull this one. So I'm with you on that one, Cricket.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably they're just playing really well right now. And they have something to prove in this game. They kind of let that thing slip away up there in Philadelphia the last time.
Yep.
And I think they got something to prove. They're going to come in with a chip on their shoulder in this spot.
Yeah, brother, be okay, man. Listen, yes, he is stupid, but that man at 38 years old can still go out there and throw 2 touchdowns. I got to give him props, man, because I don't see many 29-year-olds that could do this who've been in the league, who's been out of the league. So
you're right, man.
You know what I'm saying? Yep, the Rams are healthy. Shout out to Stafford, man. He is the man. The man can ball. The man can absolutely freaking ball.
When he's healthy, man, he does. He looks good when he's healthy.
Absolutely, man. Let me see. What do we have left before we get? We still have, and we got to hit the rest of the comments as we go along. We got the Monday night game, man. As we said, huge loss for the Jags, right? Because Christian Kirk is out for the season. That's a huge hit.
Is he out for the season? They wound up saying out for the season.
Yeah, I think
God,
he has to get surgery. That injury for Goldilocks looked worse than he made it look worse than it was, but it is a high ankle sprain, which is not it's going to linger. So whether he plays or not, or plays on it, you know how that is. You see what happened to Joey B playing through 4 games. It took him like 4 games in a bye week in order to get back to to kind of like get over that high ankle sprain, right? So
Joey Bucket, it was a calf thing, but those calves, the calf and the high ankle sprains are similar in the fact that you could be feeling a lot better about it, and you go out there and it takes one wrong step or one wrong move, and you tweak that thing, and you're right back to square one where you were. So it's a very nagging type injury. They do that tightrope surgery and all that stuff now, which is probably something he'll have done. It helps you, knocks 2-3 weeks off the recovery. And they're obviously still in contention to this thing. I mean, they're leading their division right now. So you want to get him back as quick as you can, but you also got to keep his health in mind, and you don't want to rush him back too quickly. So, it's a gray area right there. But it's like you said, it can be one of those things where even with the tightrope surgery, you come back and you get hit the wrong way, you step the wrong way, and you're right back there, and you got CJ Beathard coming in. That's not a good spot for them.
No. And they would have won this game if it hadn't got hurt. All right. They would have scored a touchdown. They would have gone if they would have gone to overtime, it would have been a different story. Shout out to Browning, bro. I mean, he was dealing on that game. I mean, look, he's trying to do the best he can. He has good weapons. Jamar Chase is doing what Jamar Chase does, is just an animal. And it was nice to see Cincinnati. I mean, everybody shut the door as long as, of course, your franchise quarterback is out for the season. I would have too. But look, 6-6, maybe an outside shot. I mean, the AFC is kind of wide open. I mean, now Pickett going down. You have the Browns with no start, with a really good quarterback either, as good as Joe Flacco did. It could open up the doors, man. You could have a series where Browning may get hot and do this week after week, right? 354 yards, a touchdown, right? Was a little bit mobile, had a quarterback sneaks for a touchdown, 22 yards. As long as he doesn't turn it over, he has the horses. And Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon ran it very, very well. Joe Mixon caught it really well. 6 receptions, 49 yards. He has the horses to be a very serviceable quarterback that can probably make a run. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, man, this guy, I know a lot of people probably don't remember him, but I remember his time at Washington up there in college.
Yep.
That they threw it a lot, man. This kid would throw it 40+ times a game. Because I'm pretty sure I heard the stat right, but I think the most passing yards ever in his first 2 starts, of anybody. In your first 2 starts, that was the most passing yards ever by anybody in their first 2 starts. There's a lot of names on that list, man. So this guy obviously can get it done. If given the time by his offensive line, he's got the weapons around him right there. You got a defense that didn't look great last night, but at the same time, they're serviceable enough that if you're putting up those kind of numbers, you're going to be in every game with a chance to win it right there. And, kudos to them, man. Shout out, because I thought they were going to get drubbed in that thing last night.
Yeah, me too. I thought, and even when Trevor was still in the game, dude, they were up. It was lead changes back and forth. They were keeping up. I mean, look, the Jags are. It's a fun game to watch. Jags have a really good team, and it's a shame. I hope Trevor Lawrence can come back and be healthy, because it would be a shame, right, for them to get, first round out, right, and limping into the playoffs. No pun intended. You know what I mean? So,
at that point, you got to wonder if they even make it right there. The AFC is such a tight race. If they close this thing out on a little skid right here, you got Houston, who's surging and has been all year long, but right there on your heels. I think that if Trevor Lawrence can't go, I don't even know if we see the Jags in the playoffs, man.
That's true. That is absolutely true. You're right. I mean, it couldn't happen at a worse time. Couldn't happen at a worse time at all.
You're exactly right. That's a great point. This is probably the absolute worst timing it could have had. If it happens a couple games later and you got a couple more wins under your belt, you got a little more breathing room right there.
Yep.
And you can afford to close this thing out with CJ Beathard backing up and give Trevor Lawrence time to get healthy before the playoffs. But if you wind up having to rush him back to try to win a game to get in the playoffs, then he gets hurt in that game. You win the game, but he gets hurt, and now you're in the playoffs with CJ Beathard, and you're in a bad spot anyway. So it's a tough spot for the Jags.
It is, man. Before we go to the loser of the week, let's take a look. We have a lot. We're busy on the comments today, so which I love, man. I appreciate everybody, the interaction, man, and jumping on and giving us your takes, man, and your comments, which is great. We got this is why the Chiefs exactly where they're playing. I mean, I don't see them become a contender in the Super Bowl. Not this year. Absolutely not this year. That's not going to happen.
A lot going to have to change for them to get back to that spot, because right now they look like they got more issues than are just there on the surface.
Yep. Look, just to make it clear, Dallas is not a Super Bowl contender because it's either going to be the Niners or the Eagles, and I got the Niners coming out of the NFC East if everybody's healthy. That's just it's been my pick since week 1. You and I have been doing this now for 14 weeks, right? And I've been saying that about the 49ers since week 1. I think you and I have agreed on that pretty consistently.
I'm with you, man. After what we saw of the 49ers last week up in Philly, I don't know how anybody can have someone over them right now. I think Dallas is playing great football, but we've seen that game once, and I'm not saying it's going to be the same way. It's not going to be the same result. Dallas will come in that much more ready to play, but at this rate, it's probably going to be in San Francisco because they're going to have similar records unless, San Francisco drops a couple, and I don't see that. But they got similar records, and San Francisco is going to have the head-to-head, so whatever the seeds are in the playoffs, they're probably going to have to wind up playing in San Fran, and I don't see where they can get a win over that. That's a tough
place to win. Yeah, it's a tough place to win. I mean, and I know San Fran is like, hey, Dallas, we're serving it up for you. We just destroy them. We manhandle them. We made them, we knocked them around. They're limping. They're literally limping because Jalen is not playing healthy.
Yeah, I agree.
Into Dallas. So it's we're giving you a shot for you to win that NFC, the NFC, the NFC East. So, question here from Rivalry Sports podcast: Tyreek, Dak, Purdy, Lamar for MVP. Tyreek, like I said, I mentioned Dak. Purdy, I mean, he has an outside shot. He's had some good games. If he posts, how many weeks are left? 4 weeks? No, 3 weeks left. 14, 15, 16.
What do we got? We got 5
weeks
left. 5 weeks
left. We're going to week 14. Week 14.
Oh, yeah, we got 5 weeks left. 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Yep.
I keep forgetting we got 18 weeks.
I know, right, man?
Yeah, you're right. He could definitely, I think if you put the string of games, similar games like this, not turning the ball over, multiple touchdowns, destroying teams, Purdy's going to put his hat in the race because this year is not a clear-cut MVP like every year. Like Patrick Mahomes has it pretty much year after year. I like Lamar's number, but I don't think he should be in the race. He's having one of his best statistical seasons from an efficiency standpoint, and the team is playing great. But yeah, like I said, I like CJ. I got McCaffrey needs to be put in there too. I mean, this year there's so many guys that they could put their name in a hat. So.
It's probably the most wide open race for MVP that I ever remember, at least in recent years. There's so many different names that can win that thing and would be deserving of it.
True that. Absolutely right. So all we have left right now, my friend, is the loser of the week, and we're going to have some fun with this one.
Loser. Le who? The her.
Cricket, our loser of the week has to be the New England Patriots. They are on such a bad streak, dude. I really don't know which way to put it. 22nd in rushing yards per game, right? 27th in passing yards per game, last in points per game, 12.3 points per game. They're 2-10 in the last game, right? Brother, when I look at these scores from the past 3 games, I feel like I'm watching a baseball game. I don't feel like I'm watching football. I don't know which was worse, the Chargers, who have an offense that's out of this world, or the New England Patriots. When you have a game 6-0, one thing is guaranteed with the Patriots: bet the effing under.
Yeah, for sure. Like, they should have given every one of these fans that paid money to get into this game, they should have given every one of them a refund, and they should have given them free tickets to next week's game. And if they had done that for me, I would have given them back.
Yeah, absolutely.
No way I'm sitting through this shit again, because those numbers right there, bro, are some of the most disgusting things I've ever seen when it comes to an NFL football team. I think when an NFL football team gets shut out in a game, when you don't score a single point with the talent you have out there on that field, I don't care if you're the worst in the league. The talent you got, you can't score a point. They should be relegated, man. We should go like soccer. Ted Lasso, man. Send them down.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they should probably do the opposite. Instead of hiring an American to play coach soccer, why don't we bring a soccer coach from like Germany? Put him in this team and see what happens.
Can't do no worse. They'll definitely cannot be any worse than that.
Listen, their field goal kicker that they'll bring from overseas is probably going to hit like 70-yard bombs, and they'll probably would have beaten the Chargers that week 9-6.
And that's the best chance you got. Because clearly you don't have anybody competent throwing the football or anything, doing anything on offense for that matter. You got to hope that defense gets a turnover in plus territory, and your field goal kicker can kick it from 70 yards.
Absolutely, man. It's great. It is time. Bill Belichick, it is time to give it up. He will have a statue, probably a smaller one, next to Tom Brady, no doubt about it. But the
Yep.
more I think he stays coaching, the more and more that distance between him and Brady, they keep separating from each other, and it keeps looking like, dude, it was Brady. All right.
It,
It was all
it
Brady. You needed Brady more than he needed you. Every year that passes, and if you notice, right, since the last time they made the playoffs, after the first year that Brady left, records are bad. They're worse year after year. He looks, the team looks shittier and shittier year after year post Brady era.
Yeah, man.
What?
I mean, it just like you said, it's a lot harder to put a statue out front of that stadium if they got to fire you, man. And I
Yeah.
think that's what Robert Kraft's trying to do is kind of let him limp to the end of this thing. They know they're going to get a high draft pick, and they got the future of the franchise coming in there. They can hire a young coach. They can relate to some of the younger players there. But Robert Kraft's trying to let him limp to the end of this thing. But he better see surely he does. He's a smart, very intelligent guy. He got to see the writing on the wall, man, and know when it's time to walk away. That's right.
Yeah, man. It is time for Bill to call it quits. He needs to walk out with his head up high, man, and he's not doing that right now, man. He's looking like that chick that you dated and back when you were when you were a dumbass young kid like I was, and she is like crying, and you're like, no, man, stop crying, stop screaming at me because we were not supposed to go out. He's looking like that petty date, dude.
Yep. You're right, man. You're right. Like I said, it's a bad scene up there, and they got to kind of smooth that thing over to get the end of it because it's not a good deal up there right now.
Yep. Let me hit the last comment here before we close it out. New England Patriots a bastard. Why are they picking Mac Jones as their own move? I mean, look, at that point, I'm 19. They needed a quarterback, so I don't know if it was that wrong of a move, but that's why the organization removed Tom Brady. Besides, the guy is a mess up, so get rid of him. Look, I think Mac Jones hasn't been serviced. I think fairly in this one either. I mean, I don't think he's helped himself
He's garbage,
either.
bro.
Yeah, but he's
garbage. My buddies, I gotta go. I don't know if I've told you this before. Now I got a couple buddies that had a Mac Jones rookie card, and he had that solid rookie season. Man, it like the value went through the roof. It was worth like $4 or $5 grand.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, you guys better sell that motherfucker right now. Sell it right now and get it. Get your money off of it. And now they have not sold it. They've been sitting on it. I bet that thing ain't worth the paper it's printed on now.
No, it's probably toilet paper is worth more.
Yeah, they might owe somebody money for having to hold that thing.
How's Will before we get out of here? How does Will feel about this season?
Man, he's he's excited about a high draft pick. He's kind of like he switched his mode kind of like you did about a month ago, man. And he was like, all right, there's no hope for this thing. So now he's kind of rooting against them every week and wants them to lose so he can get one of them quarterbacks.
That's good, man. I mean, that's what I'm doing, dude. I don't want to. I mean, I haven't picked the Giants to bet. Even though they won the last couple games, I don't think I want to keep betting on them. But I'm telling you, I'm going to pick a lot of unders with the Giants. I think I am going to get on an under freaking streak here every time the Patriots and the Giants play, just to go ham over here, bro. You know what I mean?
You, man, if you see them things below 36.5, especially if they get to 35.5 or lower,
dude.
If you can't confidently bet the under, which I always will, it's an auto bet for me.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't bet that, do not bet that over, man. Don't drink that Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. I honestly think that if they give me 36 in any Giants game, yeah.
Oh,
or Patriots game,
Giants or a Patriots game, 36, good.
Man.
Well, they won't score that in 3 games.
They are giving us free money, my friend.
Coupons.
Yep, absolutely. Cricket, that's all we got, my friend. Appreciate you, brother. Like always, we had a lot of interaction from the chat today. We got more viewers than usual. Yo, tell everybody where to find you, my man. We got some new people up in the screens today.
All right. For the best value in sports handicapping, come check us out over at sportspicks.locals.com. We got the great Robert Barnes making the official picks. He is now 10-0 on his big 5% plays this year. He's got a couple of those put up right now for the college football playoff. Get over there and check that out. sportspicks.locals.com, where we turn the odds in your favor.
Absolutely, my man. Absolutely. Look, I say it all the time. Cricket is one of the few handicappers out of here who's constantly giving free picks week after week. And when I mean free picks, like I'll give out 3 or 4.
Right?
This guy knows what the fuck he's doing. He gets to like 15. All right, college, NFL, and I can't wait for the NBA to take over because you do NBA as well, right? College basketball.
I love college basketball, man. I have so much. There's only so much time in the day, and during football season, especially this time of year with bowls and NFL playoffs coming up, I'm just so busy with football. But once football shuts down, man, I turn totally toward college basketball, getting ready for March Madness.
I'm telling you, man. Follow this man on Twitter. All right, what's your Twitter handle?
at Cricket1414. Cricket
You're not
with
going to be
two
disappointed.
T's.
Yep, there we go. 2 T's. Remember that. 2 T's. You're not going to be disappointed, my man, because you will definitely make some money following this guy. All right. Yo, that's all we got, my friend. This is your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Talk signing out.
See you next Tuesday.
Peace.
Yo!